loud. Okay, we'll begin and we'll just do the levels and sound of that during the first tune.
We have our mixer in position. So if this is your first time at Kirtan, welcome. We will be singing different mantras, and Kirtan is wonderful. It's a group meditation, and we're going to be doing a lot of call and response singing tonight. So the mantras that we'll be singing will be projected on the wall behind us, and you can just sit back and relax, or you can sing along. It's a choose your own adventure experience. So we hope you have a really nice night. We'll start with some Kirtan, we'll have a guided meditation, a bit more Kirtan, talk on spiritual wisdom, and...
This is what the talk's about tonight.
Teaser.
This is what the talk is going to be about tonight. The Yoga Wisdom talk is about this. Any people who know what it is? No people into... No? No one knows what this is? Okay. In about 45 minutes we'll find out.
And we'll end the night with you can smell it cooking right now. We'll end the night with a nice meal.
It's vegan burgers tonight. Burgers.
So just everyone, just a reminder to make sure that you scanned in with the QR code. If you didn't, do it on the way out. Yep. Just to keep everyone happy and keep everything cool.
Haribo mini-me. Mini-me. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Alright, this first tune is called A minor in G. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Nama Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Radha Vasadi Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda
Hari Om Nitai Gaur Hari Om Okay. So now we have a nice simple guided meditation for 10 or 12 minutes. And then we'll continue with some Kirtan with Mantra Relay. So what we do is we start off with our eyes closed. And consciously leaving aside all of the other things that are in our life and just being present here in our meditation this evening. And when our mind wants to take us on a journey to somewhere else, we don't argue and fight with the mind. We just gently come back into our practice. So let your practice this evening be effortless, enjoyable, uplifting, natural. We'll begin by just being aware of the ambient music there in the background. It's there to help us just to focus the mind to feel calm and relaxed. Now we begin with simple breath awareness. It actually just means to now become aware of each inward breath, experiencing it as it enters in through your nostrils, comes into your body, feeling that gentle expanding of your body with the inward breath. And then on the outward breath, feeling the warmth of the exhalation and feeling your body is beginning to relax. And what helps with this is if we experience the breath as being like a gentle wave lapping on the shore of a lake. So our breath is ebbing and flowing in a rhythm, a gentle rhythm. And each breath is bringing us to a deeper place of relaxation, and the mind is becoming more absorbed in our meditation. Now that the mind is a little settled and the body relaxed, let us begin our mindfulness, silent witness meditation. It's very easy. We just need to become aware that we step back from the stream of thoughts. And we are the observer of these various images and feelings and thoughts. We are the viewer, the silent witness. We let whatever thoughts come to be there without trying to stop them, redirect them, control them, push them away, or be judgmental of any of the thoughts. We are just aware they are there. If you can imagine, it's like sitting on the bank of a stream, and on the surface of the stream are so many leaves and twigs and branches, different wildlife. They're all there coming and going, and we're simply calmly, peacefully watching from the bank. Similarly, our mind is full of all kinds of thoughts, but in our mindfulness we experience how we are separate and aloof from them, peacefully, calmly watching, observing. You can mentally repeat this following meditation. I am the silent witness. I make no effort to think, but thoughts come automatically. I'm watching thoughts flow through my mind. I am aloof from them. I am the silent witness of my mind's activities. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. I am not the physical body or the ever-changing mind. I am the eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit, the Supreme Soul. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. Let us harmonize our breathing, and starting from the third outward breath, we add this beautiful sound of the Goranga Mantra. And let us immerse ourselves in this experience. Let us inhale together, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, One more time.
you. We have mice clapping.
Some of the people liked it. No, what we hope it is that you're enjoying it so much and there's an inner experience that you're having that you don't want to let go of. That's what we're hoping. But like we've said regularly, there is, in Kirtan, it's fine, but if you'd like to, but there's no need to applaud. It's not like there's some pressure, like if you're in a concert and you're supposed to applaud after every song. And we're hoping that as the evening progresses that you will immerse yourself deeper and deeper into the experience of Kirtan. So you're in another world, factually, experiencing some inner life from the experience of Kirtan.
Also, this is not a performance, so if you applaud us, we should applaud you.
Yeah.
This is a combined effort.
Yeah. Joint effort.
But thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, there's no problem. But maybe in the future just throw money. Put a guitar case out here and by the end of it, we might have 20 cents. Okay. So, as happens at some times, I don't really have a major sermon to give. I haven't written a sermon or anything like that. So we're kind of winging it a bit tonight. And what prompted the thoughts for tonight's discussion is Liability and I were going for a walk this morning, doing what's known as a japa walk. Does anyone know what a japa walk is? Who doesn't know what a japa walk is? I'll explain. There's this practice called japa meditation, using japa mala. A mala means like a garland, or it's a string of beads. And it's a very nice personal meditation where every day, you have the japa mala, the beads, and you chant these mantras, these names of the divine on the beads. So as you can do this in nature, going for a walk, and it's very conducive, very good. So this morning we went for a walk, doing our japa meditation, our japa walk, and we came across this. So does anyone, probably can't see it properly, anyone who's a bit gardening-like, seen one of these? Huh?
Fig seed.
Fig seed. You want to take a bite? Okay. Yeah, kind of a fig seed. So before speaking, let me take a few moments to pay my respects and gratitude to my spiritual master and to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gopaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Jug's got it almost right. It's a fig tree, a fig seed thingy, but it's actually a big fig. Anyone heard of a banyan tree? Anyone know what a banyan tree is? Huge tree with, big tangly things and, very, very big. Like huge, bigger than this room. You can get fig trees, in various parts of the world. It's a very, very big tree. So keep that in mind as we go through on this story. So these are two stories came to mind. One is a wisdom story from Jesus Christ, or what has become known as parables. In other words, we take that as meaning a wisdom story to illustrate a certain idea. And the other comes from the Vedas, from another transcendental personality known as Narada Muni. Narada Muni is well known throughout the Vedic or yoga culture and tradition. He's sometimes described as being a transcendental spaceman. Transcendental spaceman. So this means that Narada Muni is such a great sage, a Muni. Muni means like a sage. And he has this special ability where he can travel between the material dimension, which is what we're all familiar with, and the spiritual world, the spiritual dimension, the home of the Supreme. So at will, because of his spiritual power, he's able to move between these two different dimensions at will, easily, and he's always doing so. In the Vedic culture and the different Vedic sacred text, Narada Muni is very, very well known, and his whole life, he carries a veena, a musical instrument called a veena, which is a little bit like a sitar, looks like a sitar. And wherever he goes, he is introducing people to the glories of the Supreme, and introducing them to the chanting of the holy names of the Supreme. This is what he does. His whole life is travelling throughout the universes, not just this particular universe that we find ourselves in. There are many multiverses, if that's the correct term. So he's always travelling, influencing so many unlimited numbers of living beings and trying to help them come back to their real nature and their relationship with the Supreme Soul. So one of the wisdom stories involves Narada Muni, and as I said, the other one is that great spiritual personality, Lord Jesus Christ. So I'll tell the story, the parable. It's not actually a parable, it's not true. It's actually a teaching that Christ gave to his disciples. And it goes something like this. One day, a very rich man, because by this time Christ is becoming very well known as a great saint, teacher. And this very, very rich man came to see Christ one time and said, "Teacher, what must I do? I want to follow you. What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Christ said something like, "Go back home and give all your money away to the poor and then come follow me." Right? So give everything away right now. Go home, give everything away to the poor, and then come and follow me. This is what you should do if you really want to achieve spiritual perfection, which he just said he did. It's not described in the Gospels exactly what the man said, but it's described that he went away very sad, is the description. And it's not described that he ever came back. It's just described that he went away very sad. So we're assuming also from the conversation that happened afterwards that he never followed up. He didn't follow those instructions from Jesus Christ. And as he walked away, Christ had insight, knowing a person's heart. He said, "Verily I say to you, that it is harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle." Has anyone here ever seen a camel being put through the eye of a needle? Have you ever, yourself perhaps, put a camel through the eye of a needle? I'm taking that as a no, that you haven't seen it, nor have you done it yourself, right? I mean, it goes on to say, then the disciples were quite astonished. And they said, "Well, how is it possible?" Because, if you look at it, a rich man is a relative term, isn't it? I mean, what's rich? $100,000, is that rich? Well, for some of us in this room, that's like unbelievably rich, right? $100,000, like it's unbelievable that anyone could even have $100,000. But for someone with a few $1 million, they may spend that on a car, right? Or on a holiday or something like that. And if you compare, we're speaking relatively here, if we compare even someone here in Australia who is receiving social security, a pension or, Centrelink something, they are relatively rich compared to many, many, many people in this world. Many people in this world. So most people wouldn't say someone on the dole is a rich person, right, here in Australia. But compared to many people in the world, that person is very well off. They're able to have a nice apartment, to eat food, they're able to drink, maybe even smoke, right? They can do all of that stuff, get clothes, and most people have a phone, right? A smartphone. So relative, we're speaking relative rich here. So exactly what was being spoken of, it's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven than it is for a camel. So if you look at it, he's saying it's harder. It's harder, not as hard or almost as hard or half as hard. He said it's harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. So his disciples were kind of flummoxed. Well, how is it possible then? He said, well, what is impossible for man is easily achievable by the Supreme. Right, so keep that teaching in mind. And now we come to Narada Muni. Narada Muni was heading off to the spiritual world, which is known in the Vedic text as Vaikuntha. Just like there is a material world and planets and all the things that we have here in this temporary place, there is the original, eternal realm from where we have all emanated, where we have come from. And there are unlimited spiritual planets in that eternal realm, just like as there are unlimited planets in the cosmic, material cosmic manifestation. So Narada Muni, being a sage, a saintly person, also has a certain aura about him. Sometimes you can actually see, if you're a little bit insightful, you can pick up when someone is somewhat spiritually inclined or advanced, right? There's a certain, modern term, vibe about the person. So Narada Muni was going along, heading up to see Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan is another name for the Supreme. It is Krishna in his four-armed form, Lord Narayan. So Narada Muni is going along and he comes across this Brahmin, who is a scholar, a Vedic scholar, a Brahmin, which means like a priest, and who was very immersed in the letter of the law, the spiritual law. He was doing all the rituals correctly, which a Brahmin priest in the Vedic culture does every day, bathing in the Ganges so many times per day, reading the sacred text, engaging in many activities that a Brahmin engages in the Vedic culture. And unfortunately, this gentleman was a little proud, dare we say arrogant, about his position in society. He was looked up to, he was respected, and he was quite puffed up about how well he was doing in his own spiritual practices. So he recognized Narada Muni and inquired, offered his namaskar, his respects, and said, "Oh, Narada, how are you? Please accept my respects. Where are you going?" And Narada Muni said, "I'm going to see the Supreme Lord, Narayan, in Vaikuntha, the spiritual world." And this Brahmin priest says, very wonderful. When you go to see the Supreme, can you inquire from Narayan, when will I come off of the wheel of samsara and again come back to him? I'm doing so much practice and I'm very advanced spiritually. So I'm just wondering, just to confirm that, when I will be coming back to the Supreme. And Narada said, "Certainly, I'll do so." So Narada goes on a little further and he comes across a cobbler, a very poor cobbler. He's actually just repairing old shoes, and he actually lived under the tree. He wasn't just doing his work there, he was so poor, that's all he had was to live under this tree. So the cobbler also recognised Narada Muni as being a saintly personality and offered his respects and inquired from Narada where he was going. And he replied the same thing, I'm going to see Narayan in the spiritual world. And the cobbler was very happy. He said, oh, you're very fortunate, very wonderful. I wonder if you could do me a favour. Could you please ask the Supreme when I may be able to come back to see him and to be with him? And Narada said, yes, I will do so. So Narada goes to see Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha, and he had a certain reason for going there, so he's taking care of business. And then at the end, as they're wrapping up, what their business was, Narada Muni said, and by the way, 2 people I came across have asked me when they will be coming back to you, when they will transcend the wheel of birth and death and be with you again. One was a Brahmin and one was a cobbler. So they want to know, to ask you, when will they come back? And Lord Narayan said, the Brahmin, I'm not sure when he'll be coming back. Many lifetimes before he will be coming back. As many leaves as there are on a tamarind tree, that's how many more lifetimes before he'll come back to the spiritual world. And the cobbler, he'll be coming back to me at the end of this lifetime. When this body is finished, he'll come back to me. So, what happened then? So Narada Muni was a little astonished at this and wondered why. Why is it? The Brahmin is doing everything right, he's going through all the rituals and studying the sacred text and has a high position in society. He was astonished. So Lord Narayan said, you will find out when you speak to them again. He said, and when you speak to them, both of them will ask you, what was Lord Narayan doing when you saw him? He said, you can tell them that I was threading an elephant back and forward through the eye of a needle. Pushing an elephant back and forwards through the eye of a needle. So Narada Muni left, and he came across the Brahmin priest. So the Brahmin priest offered his namaskars and inquired from Narada Muni, did you see the Lord? And he said, yes. And he said, what was he doing when you saw him? And when will I be coming back? And Narada Muni, being the representative of the Supreme, spoke the message that he'd received from Lord Narayan. And he said, it is uncertain when you'll be coming back. Some number of lifetimes still. As many leaves as there are on a tamarind tree. That is how many lifetimes before you come back and are emancipated from the spiritual world. And the Brahmin, of course, is getting a bit, what? It doesn't make sense. I do everything right. If you're really Narada Muni and you really saw Lord Narayan, doubtful. What was Lord Narayan doing when you saw him? He said Lord Narayan was sitting there passing an elephant back and forth through the eye of a needle. And the guy goes, I knew it. You're a fake. You're a fake. You never saw Lord Narayan. You're not actually Narada Muni. Get out of here. Leave now. Go. You're an idiot. So at that point, of course, Narada Muni could understand why Lord Narayan said what he said. So he went to see the cobbler, passed by the cobbler, and the cobbler paid his respects and very joyfully asked Narada Muni, did you see the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Lord? He said, yes. He said, and what was my Lord Narayan doing when you saw him? And did he mention when I may come back to see him? And he said, yes, Lord Narayan said at the end of this lifetime you will come back to him. And the cobbler was very joyful. He said, what was my Lord doing when you saw him? And he said, Lord Narayan was sitting there passing an elephant back and forth through the eye of a needle. And the cobbler, in ecstasy, was raising his hands and crying joyfully. Oh, my Lord is so wonderful. He is so amazing. Lord Narayan is so amazing. And Narada Muni said, what, you believe me? You actually think that's possible? He said, yes, of course. Why not? The Supreme Soul can do anything. There is no limits to what the Supreme can do. So this is tying back to the teachings of Christ. He said, well, how do you think it's possible? The elephant's so big, the needle is so small. So the cobbler who lived under a banyan tree picked up a banyan fruit, which is what this is. And if you open it, I know you can't see from there, but there are literally thousands of little seeds in the fruit. So the cobbler did this and showed Narada Muni, and he said, in every one of these tiny seeds, Lord Narayan has placed a giant banyan tree. In every one of the trees. If it is possible for Lord Narayan to put this giant banyan tree bigger than an elephant, right? Bigger than this room. So he has actually placed a banyan tree in every one of these little seeds, of which there are thousands in one fruit. And there are many hundreds of fruits which fall off the tree every day while I am sitting under it. Anything and everything is possible for the Supreme. Nothing is impossible. Cool, huh? So what is impossible for us to achieve, including advancing spiritually, transcending the wheel of samsara, overcoming material desires, etc., 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 which by our own strength and ability to come to know and be fixed in the absolute truth is, as Christ said, harder to enter into the kingdom of God, or the absolute truth, simply by our own means. But what is possible, what is impossible for us, is possible when we are connected to the Supreme Soul, when we are surrendered to the Supreme. So, another lesson I remember, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, my spiritual teacher's teacher, he said, the difference is that the cobbler had great faith in the Supreme, whereas the arrogant, puffed up person who thought they were very spiritually advanced was not humble enough, and this was their disqualification. And he also said that faith is not blind. Real spiritual faith is not blind faith. And he said, just like the cobbler, he actually used that example. It's very logical what the cobbler said. Yes, well, the Supreme has put a banyan tree, like, maybe if you want to have a look later, you'll see how small the seeds are. And in truth, there is a banyan tree in each one of them, bigger than this house, this room, right, which is big. So he said, our faith in the Supreme and surrender to the Supreme is not a blind faith, it is actually based upon knowledge. Faith based in knowledge. So, that was the two stories for today. So we should never feel it is impossible for us to actually achieve spiritual perfection. We may have many faults, we may have many, weaknesses and shortcomings and desires and this and that, and so much conditioning from so many lifetimes. We may think, it will be many, many lifetimes before I, can transcend samsara, this wheel of samsara, or become actually, spiritually perfect. But what is impossible for us is possible when we actually take shelter in the Supreme. And who knows what the easiest way to take shelter in the Supreme is? In the holy names, by actually taking shelter in the transcendently beautiful and pure and purifying and potent names of the Supreme, through oral perception, hearing these divine names, it purifies the heart and mind of all the contamination of our material conditioning and existence. So let us have more kirtan. And let us remember these two stories. Whenever you see a banyan tree, you can remember, it is possible. I will be okay. There is hope even for a lost soul like me. Thank you very much. Yep. So we're going to stand up. Who's going for this next tune? Yep. We actually rehearsed this tune for last Sunday until we had all those technical issues and couldn't have the right instruments and stuff. So because we put all the work in to rehearsing it, we're not going to waste it. We're going to have it this week. That's what my bones feel like, that sound. I hope we get this right. We haven't run through it again since last week. The bass is a very important part of this. That's my opinion. I need some bass. think that's the first time we've done it in about 5 years.
That is on our album, if anyone wants to hear it again.
Yes. Don't forget that you can listen all the time on Spotify. If you go to Ashraya Band, our live album is there. So. In the old days, that would have been Jim Beam. Now it's carrot and ginger. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Niti Namine This is also one we haven't done in about 5 years. This is one we planned for Krishna Janmashtami last week as well.
Jai better now. All our rehearsals didn't go to waste. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, feeling oneself to be lower than the strongest stream. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, ready to offer all respect to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Namaste, Narashinaya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you all very much. I think Jug must have eaten his Wheaties this week. He finished every song with a flourish. You just had to add that. You had to have the last word in every tune. That was good, I'm just saying. It was noticeable. Well done. We'll have to whip him.
Jug used to be a rock and roll heavy metal drummer.
Yeah.
So he's mellowed out a lot.
Yeah. We started by tying one hand behind his back, so we played with one hand. And slowly we've let the other hand out. So he's doing well.
We've got some cool programs coming up this month. We have a spring wellness workshop, spring wellness Ayurveda and yoga workshop. I believe it's on the 16th, is that right? Is that date over there? 18th? It's a Saturday the 18th of September, and it's here from 1 o'clock till 6 p.m. And it includes afternoon tea and dinner, which will be delicious.
An Ayurvedic dinner.
Yes.
Is he going to learn how to cook it? Is Sammy?
I think it's Sammy, Jane and Deb. So Deb's just over there. She's one of our...
Is there a cooking class part of it? There is a cooking class, there you go.
Cooking class for spring, yes.
For spring, special meals for spring.
So spring is a really special time. We all know it's new growth and all that kind of thing, but it's also a time when your body wants to get rid of the winter heaviness. So there's lots of ways that you can actually support your body to do what it wants to do at that time of year. And
sleep.
No, sleep is not really a big part of it. It's actually
thing, right.
it's actually you're coming out of hibernation. You're dropping that winter fat, all that kind of stuff, all that good, healthy, getting ready to be more energetic. So there'll be yoga asana practices, there'll be meditation, there'll be breath work, there'll be diet, there'll be different lifestyle practices that you can use. Don't interrupt me, I'll get to that. That you can use to support your body through the change of season. And there will be Kirtan, very, very beautiful Kirtan. And it'll be run by 3 of our friends, Deb, Jane and Sammy. And they've got a lot of experience in presenting workshops and a lot of experience in the field of health and Ayurveda and yoga. So you'll be very well looked after. If you want to book, it's on Eventbrite, and Sonia out at our desk can help you to book for that, or you can just do it in your own time at home and look for more information and that kind of thing. Also coming up at the end of this month is a school holiday program for kids. So ages, I think it's most suitable for ages 6 to 9, but it's not rigid. I think it's 60-year-olds and 90-year-olds.
90-year-olds, yeah. Depends on mentality.
Everyone has the inner child, right? No, it's a 2-week program. There's classes, 90-minute classes here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then there's a like an adventure play day at the Botanic Gardens in Benoa. So it's going to be really fun. It's not just pushing out yoga asanas like your adult classes are. It's going to be lots of games and stories and music and arts and craft and nature exploration. So it'll be a beautiful way to introduce this younger generation to tools that will help them all throughout their life to live happier, more balanced, more successful lives.
When's that?
It is over the school holidays.
Over the school holidays.
So yeah, whenever they are. I'm out of sync. My child is 24 years old, so it was a long time ago. School holidays is now when it's not so tough to drive through the school zones because it's not so congested. So please avail yourself of those. Otherwise, every Friday we have a magical Kirtan evening here, and we'd love to see all of you because we could fit you all in. It's very intimate, lots of candlelight, and much more mellow tunes. It's just a 3-piece band, and it's a really lovely, chilled evening, really wonderful way to end your week. And on Wednesdays, so if you're looking for something for that
really special Wednesdays.
You can tell us about Wednesdays.
Wednesdays is just the highlight of your week. If you come to our program, Madhulya Dasi and I do a deep peace session here every Wednesday from 10:15 a.m. for 45 minutes. So we run through, it's deep relaxation and pranayam and japa and...
We do Kirtan.
Then right. And
Kirtan.
that deserves an applaud. Come on, that was really good. And then we tend to have, we hang out for a cup of tea afterwards, and it tends to be a time, and particularly for those who may be interested in this side, we have an exploration, of yoga wisdom. So we sit out there, and I'm happy to take any questions on any topics. So 10:15 to 11 o'clock is the deep peace meditation with Madhulya and I, and then we sit outside for, we've been there, how long, Sonia? 3 hours? 4 or 5 hours. We've sat out there afterwards just asking questions and answers.
It's a little exaggeration.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's only a little bit exaggerated. No, we've been there 3 hours, guaranteed 3 hours. But normally it's an hour is enough. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that's the after party after the deep peace. So every Wednesday, 10:15, we take you through a deep peace session and then discussion on yoga, philosophy and wisdom.
So now we have a delicious meal. Please stay seated and we'll bring the meal around. And as always, if anyone would like to help with the pack up or clean up in the kitchen afterwards, it'd be most appreciated.
Yeah, looking for help. If anyone would like to help clean up, pack up, all that stuff.
Thank you so much and
Cheers.
good night. Haribol.